I think it's pretty safe to say that when we examine the Skywalker saga, there's a lot of fans out there who either love the Disney Star Wars era or completely despise the Disney Star Wars movies. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing is for certain is that The Rise of Skywalker went through a series of changes and adjustments because of Kathleen Kennedy interrupting with the creative choices between J.J. Abrams, Colin Trevorrow, and of course, Chris Terrio. All of these different changes that were made from one point to the other. Now, of course, Colin Trevorrow's script was called Duel of the Fates. It was going to be a completely different Star Wars movie than what we received. And honestly, I think that would have been a more proper story. I think, in my opinion, at points at least, with Tor Valum, how Coruscant was going to play a major role, how Luke Skywalker was going to have a bigger role in his story. But moving past all of this, everything related to the J.J. Abrams version of Episode 9 and how George Lucas worked very closely with J.J. and Chris Terrio, these actual changes led to a series of deleted scenes because of Kathleen Kennedy wanting the movie to pretty much cater to a general audience and to the common moviegoer, right? So that was the one major flaw with this film, is that there were a lot of reshoots, a lot of rewrites that led to this movie having a very rushed production, and it's one of the main reasons as to why it feels very convoluted. Now, with that being said, what's really intriguing about all of this is that now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are focused on their new Star Wars universe as well as their new Star Wars trilogy of films. However, many fans have been very interested about what could have been by Disney and Lucasfilm for Episode 9 before the reshoots took place in 2018 and 2019. It's explained that the adjustments led to a series of deleted scenes for the film, where one of which was going to take place on the world of Ahch-To, where Rey would travel to Ahch-To and land a different ship that appeared like an E-Wing and would destroy it. The scene was said to have been partially shot by George Lucas and JJ that involved the Force ghosts of both Anakin Skywalker and Luke Skywalker appearing before Rey in front of the burned tree library from during the events of The Last Jedi, where both Anakin and Luke would give Rey a valuable lesson about the ancient Jedi and the Prime Jedi, and to tell her the truth about Emperor Palpatine cloning himself and using his essence transfer technique. Now, it's said that this scene was halfway done before it got cancelled by Kathleen Kennedy, where Hayden Christensen was said to have portrayed the role as Anakin Skywalker in the scene, and would have appeared older in design to match Luke Skywalker's age. Here, Rey would learn a valuable lesson by the Skywalkers that she and Ben Solo have a very powerful bond, a dyad, if you will, that could defeat the Emperor, where they would actually instruct her to turn Ben Solo to the light side of the Force, where it said that George's version of the scene arrangement is that the Ahch-To scene came before and took place before Rey and Kylo would even fight on the second Death Star wreckage on Kef Bir, the ocean moon near Endor. So, the thing about this that's very unfortunate is that we could have had a lot more Palpatine and a lot more Anakin Skywalker elements in, of course, The Rise of Skywalker if they kept some of those scenes that were developed by George Lucas. Now, say what you will about George Lucas and the prequel trilogy movies, but I honestly love the prequels. Sure, they have a lot of flaws, a lot more flaws than a lot of movies out there, but at the same exact time, very entertaining, very much goal-driven by George Lucas because he introduced all these new worlds, all these new ships, new characters, new concepts. I love it. So that's exactly what they're going to be doing, by the way, with this new trilogy that's up and coming, and hopefully it really will take off and kind of give us that feel of Star Wars once again. So, like I say, I have some issues with The Rise of Skywalker, but I do like specific scenes in this movie. And I've talked about this endlessly, that it's like an emotional roller coaster for me when it comes to Episode 9. I can't really wrap my head around them pretty much putting Anakin to the wayside if they had initially planned for him to be a part of this movie, especially Kathleen Kennedy, putting that to the wayside, not even realizing that alone would have driven ticket sales through the roof. It really would have. I think it really would have gotten me to see the movie more than 2 times. I saw The Rise of Skywalker twice, and that was it. So, in comparison to The Force Awakens, I saw that movie 5 or 6 times, and you can really see that there's a lot less repeat viewings by a lot of Star Wars fans out there. I also like the idea of what George Lucas applied here of having both Rey and Kylo Ren pretty much battling on the second Death Star after Rey goes over to the world of Ahch-To to pretty much meet with Anakin and Luke, where they give her a valuable lesson about that dyad of the Force and how they both have the power to destroy the Emperor. And that would have been Rey's purpose, to confront Kylo Ren on the ocean moon of Kef Bir. Very intriguing, I gotta say, and the fact that they wanted to make Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker in an older design to match Luke's age, I think was a very interesting concept that would have really given us a different version of Anakin Skywalker in the long run. So with that being said, guys, like I say, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.